Good afternoon and welcome, everyone. We are so glad to have you at our first virtual job fair. I'll start by introducing myself and the members of my team. I am Opal Jones, President and CEO of Doorways. I'll be serving as a bit of the mistress of ceremonies today, if you will. And with me, we have a group of dynamic leaders here at Doorways who are going to be presenting today as well. The first you'll hear from is Joanna Spencer, our Director of Human Resources. Then you'll hear from Tammy Laws, our Flexible Housing Director. Also joining us will be Todd Garden, the Director of Administration and Special Projects. Todd is doing double duty today with our technology today. So you'll hear me and him kind of chiming back and forth. Then you'll hear from Brenda Malone, who's the Director of the Own Home program here at Doorways. Crystal Davis, our fabulous Cooper House Nursing Manager. Jess Cox, the Director of Behavioral Health. Samantha Donovan, our Residential Program Director. And finally, David Payne, our Systems Administrator. So what do we have on the agenda for you today? First, I'll go over the mission and impact so you can get to know what the agency is and what we do. Then I'll go over the vision for our brand new Jefferson Avenue campus, which many of you have seen as you've driven along North Jefferson. And then I'll turn it over to Joanna, who will go over all of the positions that we have at the agency. And then she will introduce one by one each of the program directors who will talk about the positions in detail, the culture of their department, and kind of what it's like to work at Doorways. Then finally, Joanna will go back and talk about the benefits and perks that one can expect in their employment with Doorways. And then I will lead us in a question and answer session. Important to note about the Q&A is that at the bottom of your screen right now, there are a few buttons, and one says Q&A. So if you have questions, you can go ahead and type those in the Q&A at any point in time during this presentation. What we'll do from there is we won't answer the questions right now. We'll wait until the presentation is over, and then we will address the questions one by one during the Q&A session. And then finally, after the Q&A is over, this program is going to take approximately 1 hour. And then after the Q&A is over, we will then have an optional breakout session for you. So we'll give you instructions at that time. But if you want to do the breakout, that's a great opportunity to talk to the hiring managers directly. They'll be able to answer any specific questions you have about a position. And then if you're on the fence and you want to apply for more than one thing, you have the option to go into different rooms and talk to these different hiring managers that are on the call today. So it's just a great opportunity for you. So we hope you stick around for that second part of the optional program. But first, let's talk about what Doorways is and who we are. We are an organization that has been around for nearly 35 years, providing housing and healthcare opportunities for people living with HIV. We started at the height of the AIDS epidemic in the 1980s as hospice care when a group of interfaith founders came together to work with this crisis. But then as the disease evolved over time, our programs have gone from helping people die with dignity to now helping people live their best life. And so we're very proud of what we do. And we think that the best way to demonstrate that is to let one of our clients speak for themselves. So now I would like to introduce you to Juanita.
I remember when I was a little girl, I used to talk to God all the time, and I would say, God, make me a good little girl. I think I cared about people too much, because I didn't get that back. I've lived a life of drugs. I was in a relationship that it was very abusive. I just got hurt and stepped on a lot. I just went downhill. I thought it was no hope until I met someone from the Cooper House. I got to doorways and I got the chance to see a side of life that I really hadn't ever seen before. I started to feel different. I started to think different. I started to feel loved. I had people that, held me accountable for what I did. And I started seeing the possibilities. This is my second chance at living life. Let me do something, I'm ready to move forward, to live on my own. I loved my apartment. It was empty, but it was mine. I'm making good choices now, and I decided that I wanted to go to school. I'm a sophomore at St. Louis Community College in Florissant Valley, where I will graduate with my Associates in Applied Science and Human Services and my Addiction Studies certification. My ultimate goal is to save lives. If I can prevent something like what I went through from happening, that would be awesome. Because of doorways, I am the person that I am now. Otherwise, I might not even be alive. It gave me hope. It gave me a second chance at living life. I'm ready for the world, you know what I'm saying? I'm healthy, my mind is right, both foot solid on the ground. I feel like there's nothing that I can't do if I put my mind to it.
All right, I think there's nothing that we can't do either if we put our mind to it. So more about doorways. Annually, we serve around 3,500 people a year in Missouri and Illinois. And the last 6 years of we've been working on this huge strategic initiative to open up a 3-acre, $40 million campus on Jefferson Avenue. So we're just very proud of this new facility and what it's going to mean to this area of North St. Louis and to individuals living with HIV and the broader community in general. So first, I wanted to tell you kind of like our vision behind this. We about 6 years ago, previous slide, please. Thank you. We forged this vision about 6 years ago, and it was to help us with 3 programmatic goals that we have at the agency through various needs assessments and some of the issues we were having with service provision. The first was the need to retool our emergency housing program, where we were offering folks 30 to 60, maybe 90 days of temporary shelter in a number of locations around town, including rooming houses and boarding houses. And we knew we wanted to bring that in-house under one roof where we could do a better job of serving our clients. So that's one thing we wanted to do. The second is we're very much a growing organization. We have doubled in size in recent years, and we knew we wanted to be able to expand our programming and have more state-of-the-art facilities in which to conduct classes and so forth. And then the third is we wanted to retire an old building that no longer was suitable to the needs of our clients. So quickly, what we have here is a rendering of the Jefferson Avenue campus, and I'm just going to walk you through the building really quickly, as well as our logic. So if you start at the right of the screen, what you'll see, and it's hard to see from here, from this vantage point, is that we have a retail location. And the retail, can we go back, please? Thank you. Todd is anxious to get me through this program, Todd, but I'm going to take liberties in a couple more minutes on this slide. Yes, thank you. The retail location in that corner there with the red dot, it was in an effort to help us solve two other broader goals. So I talked to you about the programmatic goals that we want for ourselves in this agency, but we also had two community-minded goals. The first is to develop in disinvested areas in the city. And we know that historically north of Del Mar, that area has seen a lot of disinvestment. And so Doorways has a history of going into these types of areas and creating opportunities for residents there. So that was one community goal we had. And the second community goal is to address some of the stigma around HIV. And so we're making some bold steps to do that. And so going back with the retail where Todd was pointing with the red dot, that is slated to be a pharmacy. And our idea here is to draw as many people onto this campus for as many reasons as possible. So if I'm coming onto the campus and I'm there for HIV services, and Todd is coming onto the campus to visit the retail or some of our other points of interest, then we're all here for one reason or the other, and no one really knows what that's for. And it doesn't necessarily point someone out as particularly having HIV. So as we go to the left, you go into the administrative portions of the campus, including a huge multi-purpose room where our idea was to provide space for other nonprofits and community groups, as well as board meetings for Doorways. Once again, drawing our community into our community at Doorways and demystifying what it is that the agency does. Then as you go to the left, you go to the programmatic center where we have a welcome center welcoming the clients and all of the programmatic housing and other programs that happen at Doorways. And then to the left is a 50-unit apartment building that supplants that emergency housing program that I was telling you about earlier. So that's 50 units of housing that are on site now that we can help people in crisis or serious need work on some stability. And then to the left of that is one of my favorite features of the campus, which is our sculpture garden, where we will feature a Kehinde Wiley sculpture that will be a prominent fixture through that North Jefferson corridor. And what you can't see at the rear of the campus is phase 2, which we'll be breaking ground on before the end of this year. Which is another 39-unit apartment building for individuals living with HIV, but who also have a co-occurring serious mental illness or substance use condition. Todd, you may now click to the next slide. So there's lots of innovation baked into this campus. We've talked about what the broader goals are, but some of the features are 360-degree care coordination. We have 24-hour staffing available to the residents. We have a food pantry inside, and we have some newer services to Doorways also. We have a behavioral health program that is staffed by ourselves, but also with the help of St. Louis University. We have employment services on site and also specific HIV services. And so we hope to change lives one at a time, not through just those main core services, but through a lot of the self-development programming that we'll also have. And these services will be available to Doorways residents at first, but we hope that we'll be able to provide services to the broader community who aren't necessarily our clients. And those will be computer literacy classes, GED classes, different workshops around financial literacy, nutritious cooking, and so forth. So that just gives you a taste of what we hope to accomplish. Now I'm going to pass it to Joanna Spencer, who is our Director of Human Resources, to tell you more.
Thank you, Opal. And I want to welcome everyone. Thank you for participating in our virtual job fair. I am going to go over all of our current openings. And I'm going to start with our current openings at Cooper House. We have a building and grounds specialist, facilities maintenance technician, a resident advocate, social worker, charge nurse, CNA. And the positions at our Jefferson Avenue campus, we have administrative and volunteer coordinator position, facilities maintenance technician, behavioral health therapist, data systems coordinator, first impression associate, housing assistant, housing client care coordinator, housing resource specialist, intake specialist, and that's a part-time position. And we also have resident advocate positions opened at the Jefferson Avenue campus, and we have 4 full-time and 6 part-time positions at that location. The way to apply for any of our positions, you can go to our website, our company website, and that's doorwayhousing.org, or you can find our openings also on Indeed. I will also point out that some of our positions have sign-on bonuses. And also with our positions, we do have a salary range, but the salaries will be discussed during the interview process. We base that on your experience, your education, or any kind of specialized certifications that you may bring to the position. I am going to hand it off now to Todd Garton. Todd is the Director of Administration. He is going to talk about the positions in his department that fall under his title, and it will be the Building and Ground Specialist and the Facilities Maintenance Technician. Please welcome Todd.
Thank you, Joanna. Hello, everyone. I get the pleasure of talking about our maintenance and our grounds at Doorways. Pictured here are some of our buildings. Actually, all of our buildings, I think, are here because they've got the new campus at the top that's branded Doorways. So the properties that we own and manage are here, and the maintenance and grounds team is the group that gets to do that. A little bit about the culture, the department culture of maintenance. We're a team. We work as a team. We act as a team. We are a group that communicates and collaborates. There may be a greater skill set on one side of the team than on the other, but we live and learn together. We find our work challenging and yet rewarding. And as you can see from some of the pictures here, we work hard and play hard. A little bit about the position. It's housekeeping, custodial, and minor maintenance needs. As well, there are jobs to make sure that the grounds are clean, that things are handled safely and sanitary, the disposal of refuge, keeping all of our areas clean, safe, comfortable, and attractive, assuring that the equipment's cleaned, maintained, comfortable, attractive, and that we have adequate supplies of things there. And then you see at the bottom of your screen the education and experience that is required for this position. Just a typical day in the life of this position. It's really more than just cleaning and trash and mopping and fixing things. Our team works hard to make sure that our agency looks good, functions well, and that things are problem-free. The best days are when you don't notice them there, that you don't notice that there's anything to need to be cleaned or kept or going. So the person that would be the best fit for this position would have a large collection of skills and the desire to learn even more, ability to fix just about anything. If this is a position that might interest you, you're welcome to reach out to Herman Johnson, who is the supervisor of our building and maintenance team, or myself. Take a screen capture of this if this is interested to you, and reach out to us via email or phone, or join us in the breakout rooms. Opal will be hosting the breakout room for this group. And as well, as Joanna said, there are more information on the website specifically to each of those jobs under the job description. So I will now hand it back to you, Joanna.
Thank you so much, Todd. The next position that we will talk about will be in our clinical department, and I will introduce Crystal Davis. She is the Director of Nursing. She will talk about the positions in her department, the charge nurse, LPN, CNA positions that we have open. She will also talk about resident advocate and social worker positions that work with her department. Please welcome Crystal.
I'm sorry, I was still muted. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Crystal Davis, and I'm the Director of the Nursing Department So we are here and we're helping our residents with their healthcare journey. We're meeting them where they are. Some of our residents come from homelessness, and so due to being homeless, they may not be able to meet all the doctor's appointments or not have a doctor when they come into the facility. So we're here to manage, start, and maintain their healthcare needs when they come into the facility. Our care that we want our residents to have is exceptional, and we require that of our applicants and our current staff. So the positions we have open are CNA, evening, part-time, and day shift, and we also have charge nurse positions available. The requirements for CNA is that you have a CNA certification in good standing, CPR certification, and we require that you are COVID vaccinated. We want our staff to be empathetic and sympathetic, have worked in community health as well as mental health. Also, we want our applicants to come in and be able to work as a team and work independently. So the day in the life of a CNA here at Doorways is to be able to take direction from the nurses, take vital signs, have knowledge of our computer system, which is ClickPoint Care, provide excellent customer service, accompany residents, and be an advocate for the residents. If you see a change in condition, be able to talk with the nurses. Charge nurses' ability would be an advocate for your resident physically, mentally, and emotionally. Be able to manage and establish care and coordinate with other healthcare teams that work with Doorways. Also have knowledge of the ClickPoint Care system as well, and supervise all unlicensed staff within Cooper House. Our next positions are resident advocate and social worker. So the resident advocates are like the doorkeepers here at Cooper House. They maintain the residents coming and going and make sure that they're safe as they leave and enter the building. They answer the phones, they do like cleaning, and communicate with the other departments of the residents' whereabouts. Resident advocates usually work days, weekends, and holidays. Our social workers work in coordination with nursing. They help to coordinate services as well as help the residents with their insurances and other avenues outside of the facility that we use here at Cooper House. The contact person for the social worker and resident advocate position is Christine Hannigan, administrator. Any questions that you have for anything that I've gone over in this presentation, please join me in the breakout room. Thank you.
Thank
Back to
you
you,
so
Joanna.
much. Thanks, Krista. I appreciate that. Thank you. The next position that we will talk about will be in Tammy Law's department. She is a comprehensive flex housing director, and the positions that she will go over today: first impression associate, housing client care coordinator, and resident advocate position. And again, there are four full-time positions and 6 part-time positions. Please welcome Tammy.
Thank you, Joanna. Welcome, everyone. So glad that you're here. And I'm super excited to talk to you about the new comprehensive flexible housing program at Doorways. Some of you may be asking yourself, what is comprehensive flexible housing? So, you know, as Opal had said, this is taking an existing emergency housing program and really tailoring it to work one-on-one with supportive services and individualized plans for folks who are affected by HIV and who are unhoused in our community. And so we will be wrapping a lot of services around folks, but doing it in a housing first way. And for those of you who haven't heard about housing first, that basically is predicated on we do not require certain things of you before we place you in housing. And it's predicated on knowing that we often can't get to the root causes that of your homelessness or your health issues if first you are not under a roof. So this program really values like getting people in a safe place and then engaging clients one-on-one with a variety of different support systems in order to move them along their journey that they're determining to get them to housing stability and health. So our team is a very dynamic team. We're very inclusive. We value the differences and the different experiences that we bring to the table. We hope you will consider thinking about that as you think about what jobs you are interested in doing. A couple of things that I will say, we're super passionate about the clients that we're serving. And some of our mantras in our department are that we want to do what we say we're going to do for our clients. We're going to model the way for our clients. And we are going to work really hard as a team to help or to walk with clients on their journey, not box them in to our journey. So really client-centered and client-focused. Opal earlier went over a lot of the different services that we're going to have on site. I won't go over those again, but as you can see, a wide breadth of things that we're going to have both on site as well as linking people with community supports so that they are building that stable foundation of support whenever they're moving into their own permanent housing into the broader community. So I'll talk a little bit about the positions that we have available. So I'm going to start with the care coordinator position. That is a full-time position, and we are looking for someone with a social work background. This position will do everything from intake to placing people in one of the flexible housing options that we have available. Some people will have leases in their own names. Some people will have more of like a transitional period. So our care coordinators will be sort of crafting that plan along with the clients. And then creating just a full service from beginning to end plan for housing stability. All of the positions that we have, I will mention, have a lot of client contact with them. And so we are always looking for people who are client focused, client centered, and who have service really as the heart of what they're going to bring to the table with the team. Next, I'll talk a little bit about the resident advocates. We're going to have, as Joanna said, both full and part-time resident advocates. And the resident advocates are going to be the 24/7 heartbeat of the Jefferson Avenue campus. So all of those positions will support clients in a variety of different ways. Things that you could expect to do in this job are monitoring the doors and the phones, making rounds, and just interacting with the clients that are on campus and their guests, oftentimes their family and friends, and then just assisting us in keeping the environment safe, clean, tidy, and just making sure things are going smooth. The requirements for this position, we are looking for folks who maybe have experience working in a congregate living setting. And we will, of course, train you on the things that you need to know, such as CPR, first aid. We're going to do some training around trauma-informed care and housing first and what that means. So that you don't have to come with all those tools, you can get them while you're in part of the department. Then lastly, our first impressions associate. This position is also full-time and at the Jefferson campus. And this is the front face of everyone who comes through our Welcome Center doors. So you will be welcoming residents, guests, a variety of people who come in and out of the Doorways building. And then just helping to direct people, helping to make people feel at home and part of the Doorways family. And again, keeping the area safe and clean and just in the putting our best foot forward, right? First impressions associate. So lots of great opportunities for you in this department. And so there's my contact information. I also will be in a breakout room and look forward to maybe meeting you and answering some of your questions. Thank you, Joanna, and toss it back to you.
Thank you so much, Tammy. The next position and next department we will go to, we are going to go to Brenda Malone. She is the Own Home Program Director, and the position in her department that she's going to talk about in detail is a Housing Resource Specialist. Please welcome Brenda Malone. I believe you're still on mute.
I was. Thank
There you
you
go.
so much. Sorry about that. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming. My name is Brenda Malone, and I am the Own Home Program Director here at Doorways. The Own Home Program provides housing assistance to those living with HIV. Clients that apply need the assistance in order to gain stable housing, or they need assistance to maintain their current housing. The services we offer are rent assistance, utility assistance, mortgage, and deposit assistance. A day in the life of a housing specialist is that we work in a very fast-paced environment. There are tight deadlines that need to be followed. This position handles a large volume of requests for assistance. There's a heavy amount of work on the computer and the telephone. Some of the specific duties you would be having to complete in this position would be to collect required documentation in order to determine a client's eligibility for services, complete an intake and an assessment for clients in need of assistance, working with landlords or other vendors to facilitate financial assistance, complete housing inspections of units for new move-ins, processing the files for deposit, rent, mortgage, services we offer to our clients. The ideal candidate for the housing specialist position will be empathetic, have excellent communication skills, verbal and written, and have the ability to navigate computer software systems. If you have experience in social services or housing industry,
The next department, and that's Brenda's contact information. Next department and position, we will talk about the housing assistant. And this is Samantha Donovan's department. She is the residential program director. Please welcome Samantha Donovan.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. So a little bit about the residential department. We provide housing that is owned and operated by Doorways that is subsidized to our clients living there. We have 7 buildings across St. Louis City with a total of 103 apartments. We provide not only the housing, the units that the tenants live in, but also housing related services to help with tenant enrichment and engagement. Our team consists of 2 client service coordinators who assist the clients at their properties, 2 maintenance technicians, a program director, which is myself, and we are hiring for the assistant position. So what does the assistant position look like? This position would be located at our Jefferson campus, at the new campus. It is majority of work done in the office as opposed to at the properties. This position would do a lot of multitasking. They're kind of the back end for our entire department. They help everybody out. A day in the life consists of checking the maintenance line, collecting rents and payments from clients, fielding phone calls, also helping with resident communications and mailing. They would be in charge of completing applications, managing the wait list, also processing files for recertification. We have 4 databases that we use in the residential department, which is an unusual amount. There's a lot of databases, so it would be a lot of data entry. I could see the ideal candidate being someone who is interested in working in social services. Does not necessarily have to be a social worker, but anyone with past clerical experience would be great. And someone who has good technical skills as well as good communication, verbal and written skills. If you have any questions, feel free to come into the breakout room. And thank you for coming today.
Thank you, Samantha. We will move to our next department, and I will hand it off to Jess Cox. She's the Director of Behavioral Health. The two positions that she will talk about today, the Behavioral Health Therapist and the Intake Specialist. And again, that is a part-time position. Please welcome Jessica.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Joanna. As Joanna mentioned, my name is Jess, and I'm the Director of Behavioral Health here at Doorways. A little over 2 years ago, Doorways introduced behavioral health programming to our organization. And we provide two programs where clients are referred to our department by the Doorways care coordinators. The first program we provide is called Shine, and Shine is our individual therapy program where we provide one-on-one counseling with our clients, and those are for individuals, couples, or family sessions. And the second program that we offer is called Constellation. And in Constellation, we host group therapy sessions at various Doorways residential locations with our clients. Our services are low barrier and community-based. So what that means is we work very hard to reduce barriers for our clients to access our services. We provide therapy over the phone, virtually, and throughout the community where our clients live and work. Many do not have access to transportation. Therefore, we are often meeting with clients at various Doorways housing or doing home visits at their own apartments as well. Our behavioral health team drives their own vehicles to offsite locations, and mileage reimbursement is provided. One of the many things I love about working for Doorways is that we support professional development. And for behavioral health professionals who are seeking an LPC or an LCSW clinical licensure, Doorways may be a very excellent fit for you. We pay for your licensure exam fees and clinical supervision fees, which is hard to find. We currently do not have an on-site clinical supervision, so you'll be required to obtain your own supervisor. However, we will ensure that the meetings with your supervisor are included in your hourly work here. And again, those related fees and costs are paid for by the agency. And our behavioral health department recognizes that clinical and direct service work can be daunting. So we speak with people all day who are managing symptoms of depression, anxiety, and trauma. And while we work hard to create a culture of warmth and compassion and support for our clients, we do the same for our team members. So in the behavioral health department, you will find that we prioritize our team members' own self-care, and we work collaboratively as a team on our cases. And we have fun together and benefit from working in a family-like atmosphere. So we're hiring for two different positions, and one is our full-time therapist and another is our part-time intake specialist. So for our full-time therapist position, all candidates are required to have a master's degree in counseling or social work. We do prefer that an individual be licensed with an LPC or LCSW. However, as I mentioned, if you're not licensed yet and want to work towards that, we will fully support you in doing so. The therapist should have a foundation of knowledge for clinical best practices for therapy provision and be open to working in the community. Additionally, the therapist also must be able to work independently, as the nature of this position works at various locations with little oversight at times, and of course honors the confidentiality of those we serve. And then, as I mentioned, our second position is for a part-time intake specialist. And all candidates for this position are required to have a bachelor's degree in counseling or social work or a similar field. And we anticipate this position will be more office-based. So we're looking for an individual who's willing to conduct their work in the field as needed. And then we're thinking that this individual needs to excel in the ability to build professional relationships in a variety of ways, including meeting with people over the phone, excuse me, virtually and in person. And lastly, a day in the life of these positions, our therapists will be meeting with clients daily. We anticipate that this position will have at least 5 counseling sessions a day. So if you're looking to become licensed and you need to get those direct service hours, you could find them easily within this position. The therapists will create and update our client treatment plans. They will complete behavioral health assessments, do data entry tasks, and document their case notes in a timely manner. The therapist will also spend time traveling to various locations to meet with clients. And we coordinate with all of the Doorway staff here and work closely to manage services for our clients in a team-centered environment. And then lastly, a day in the life of our intake specialist. That will include overseeing our client referrals to the behavioral health department. They're going to be needing to quickly respond to referrals and reach out to those who have been referred to us. They'll be explaining the services we provide, answering any questions the clients may have. And once a client decides to participate in counseling, the person will complete an intake with the client, whether that's in person, over the phone, or virtually. And then during that intake, they'll do things like review our informed consent, do paperwork, gather background information, and create initial treatment plans. The intake specialist will also conduct outreach calls and visits for clients who we've been unable to reach, or those who maybe have become inactive in counseling services. And lastly, they of course work collaboratively with the Doorway staff as well. And you'll see my contact information there, and please join me in the breakout room if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jess. In our next department that we will travel to, we will go to David Payne. David is the Data Systems Administrator. The position that he will talk about will be the Data Systems Coordinator. Hi, David.
Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I appreciate it, and I appreciate your time. So my name is David Payne. I'm the Data Systems Administrator here at Doorways, and some core practices of data systems as our team. We ensure the integrity of the data. We've heard lots of people talk about data entry and how just fundamental data is to our organization and what we do. We as data systems help to ensure that we have the most accurate and complete data that we possibly can. So we also work with reporting and visualization. We support many different parts of the organization, from program staff to grant staff and to the financial staff. This is a flexible and an agile work environment, and a key thing for us is work-life balance. So the position that we're hiring for here is called the Data Systems Coordinator. This person will be interpreting and transferring existing data into multiple systems. This person will combine client-level data across these systems to support our comprehensive flex housing team in order to best assist our clients. This person will also maximize Doorway's participation in the St. Louis Continuum of Care Coordinated Entry. This person should have a collaborative working style and work well with all staff. Like I said, we will be supporting many different departments. A strong attention to detail and high-level communication skills are very desirable. And also the desire to foster data quality and completeness. So sorry. Okay, and a day in the life of a data systems coordinator, like I said before, accurately interpreting and transferring client-level data between multiple data systems, generating reporting and invoicing for comprehensive flex housing, becoming the point person for the St. Louis City Coordinated Entry Prioritization List, and then attending weekly coordinated entry housing match meetings, and then assisting in the development of our primary case management system, Caseworthy. Here's my contact information. If you have any questions or would like to chat, please join me in my breakout room. Thank you so much.
Thank you, David. Now, I want to talk about benefits and perks as you decide to come onto our team. I want to just kind of go over the benefits and perks that we offer to our employees. We have medical through United Healthcare. We also have a health reimbursement arrangement, and the company will pay 50% of the deductible. We also have a dental plan through Lincoln Financial, vision through MetLife. We have the Flex plan, sometimes known as Section 125 or a Benny card. We also have other insurance that you can purchase at a small cost to you, critical care, gap insurance, and accident insurance. We also have an employer paid life insurance. Again, no expense to you. Employer paid short-term and long-term disability. Again, no expense to you. We offer a retirement plan at our 403B. We have EAP, that's our employee assistance program, and that's for you and your family, a free counseling service. We also offer pet insurance, legal assistance, and travel assistance. And again, that's at a small cost to you. Other great benefits and perks that we offer: in your first year, you can accrue up to 21 days of PTO. We honor 8 holidays, and we also include Juneteenth. That's a new one for us. We also have 2 floating holidays. We offer 6 weeks of parental leave, paid parental leave. And as mentioned earlier, we also have sign-on bonuses for some of our positions. We have a telecommuting policy for some of our positions to support work-life balance, along with a flexible work schedule option, again, to support work-life balance. We offer tuition reimbursement. We support you going back to school and your education and development. And we also are a qualified employer for the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. So those are all of our benefits and perks. I'm going to hand it back over to our president, Opal Jones.
Thank you. Aren't they rock stars? I'm so proud of this team, and I know there's no other folks I would want to work with, and I hope from what you've heard, you feel the same way. We do have a few minutes now to take on questions, and we'd like to open that up to folks right now. So at the bottom of your screen, there is a ribbon. And one of the buttons there says Q&A. So if anyone has a question, feel free to type it in there and we'll be able to field those and help you out.
Opal, there's a question in the Q&A about the culture of our agency.
Oh, that's a good one. Where to start, because there's so many different facets of doorways. I mean, it really depends. I kind of was outed a bit in some of Todd's slides where you saw the maintenance team, you know. So why don't we start there? That's a fun team where I'm gonna back it up. One of my overarching philosophies at Doorways is that everybody does social work and everybody does marketing and sales, right? So we're all fundraisers, we're all social workers. So that's important to know. So if you saw some of those fun pictures, you saw me actually doing some of the maintenance in the maintenance department from years ago when I ran those teams. And so that really speaks to, I think, the first pillar, which is we're a very collaborative, warm organization where people just pitch in and do whatever they need to do. So if I'm in the lobby and I see that a client needs something and I can help, then I'm that social worker. I'm the person that's going to do the warm handoff to the people that can help them. Likewise, if I'm in programs working and we have a fundraiser and development needs some assistance, then maybe I'm going to go help tell the stories of the clients, or I'm going to pitch in some kind of way. So I'd say we're collaborative, we're fun, we're an organized organization, but still able to manage those things and be professional. And I think we strike that balance and we do it very well. Just extraordinarily proud of this team. These folks are very talented and here for the right reasons, which is to take care of our residents and propel the mission of Doorways.
Opal, the next question is about the administrative and volunteer coordinator position that's listed on the site. That was not something we spoke about today. Are you still hiring for that position? If so, who is the contact person for interest in that position?
Thank you, Todd. That position was just recently filled. So we are no longer taking applications for that. And by recently, I mean, as of this morning. So we're no longer taking applications for that. But there are some of the same skills that would be used in that position. If you're interested in that, I would encourage you to apply for some of the other positions, like a housing specialist comes to mind, or maybe a first impression associate. So they're definitely translatable skills at Doorways. And one thing I would say is we have a wonderful track record here of promoting from within. I happen to be the office manager way back in the day and have held a number of positions before coming into this one. So many entry-level positions end up in greater roles.
Jess handled this in Q&A as well, but there was the question asked, we would keep referencing Cooper House. Where is Cooper House?
Great. So oh, these are just good questions. You guys are paying attention. I love that. So Doorways has two main campuses. We have the Cooper House campus, which is in the Central West End. Cooper House is a licensed residential care facility where people with advanced illness live. So it operates 24 hours a day, and about half of the agency staff work in that facility. Then we have the Jefferson Avenue campus, which is at 1101 North Jefferson Avenue, and the rest of the agency's operations will run out of that campus.
Opal, the next question is in regards to flexible scheduling and as well remote working.
Yeah, great question again. Lots of perks for working at Doorways, as Joanna mentioned. We are bringing online a work from home policy where individuals whose positions will allow for that will be able to a day to 2 days a week work from home, provided, like I said, the position allows for that, and the duties as the manager have laid them out allow for that. And then we offer a flexible schedule too, where folks may want to work 4 10-hour days and so forth. And so all of that is outlined in our policies and something that you can talk to Joanna Spencer about in detail in the breakout rooms.
There are no other questions, Opal.
Looks like I may have one reminder here. Oh, okay. So I was just reminded that this is a recorded session. Folks, after we have an opportunity to clean it up a little bit, it will live on our website. So if you didn't hear everything you wanted to hear today, or you missed a part, or you want to have someone else have the opportunity to view this presentation, they will be able to click on our website, doorwayshousing.org, and view it later.
We've got a final question. Do you have an anticipated date when the Jefferson location will open?
We are celebrating a grand opening on Wednesday, October 19th.
And Latasha asks, do you hire certified nursing assistants?
We sure do. And we have a number of positions, both part-time and full-time, with a great benefits package available. So Latasha, I would really encourage you to stay for the second part of this presentation where we go in the breakout rooms, because you'll be able to talk to Crystal Davis, our Director of Nursing, directly, and she can tell you much more about that, but we are in need of CNAs. All right, well, now is the point where we will have the opportunity to go in breakout rooms. So at the bottom of your screen is that ribbon again. And in the, I believe it's in the chat feature,
Yes.
there is, thank you, Todd, there is a link there that you can click on that link and you'll be taken to the breakout rooms. When you get there, we'll have further instruction, but you'll be able to talk to any of the directors that you've seen in this program. I'll be in the breakout session as well. And so we invite you to click over now through that link, and then we can continue the conversation and you can have one-on-one time with the hiring manager. Thank you again for coming. For those who choose not to go on with us to the breakout rooms, feel free to apply at doorwayshousing.org. There is position descriptions for everything there and the directions to apply. And we thank you for your time and your interest in our organization. And we hope to see you in an interview soon. Great. I'm clicking over now to the breakout sessions if anyone wants to